And hey, hello there, RJB here from RJB TV, and tonight it is that day of the week, the time of the week, where we are going to find out if, yet again, another player is worthy of being featured on the channel. Today we have How against Mepo. We've already seen Mepo a couple of times before in the past. He has played against Brain, he's played against Burger Sasu, he's played against Lead Baku, and I think he's played against a couple more players, but so far that guy has really been showing up big time, delivering extremely high level games. I'd say he is at the highest level, a level where you can call him a Gosu, an expert amongst experts, a grand master. And he's here, yet again, returning into the battlefield against the player called How. How is going to perform, I don't know. I just wanted a little bit more variety. I wanted some new names on the channel that I can bring back in the future. Because some players have retired from Fastest Map or from StarCraft altogether, which kind of limits the amount of players that are at the Gosu level. Like, Gosu are the very best players. They are the grand masters of StarCraft. That player pool has slightly decreased in size. I want to bring some new players, or discover some new players, who belong in that Gosu Grandmaster pool of players, so I can always bring them back whenever I want to show some diversity. So Mepo here on the bottom middle of the map, on the Terran, yellow Terran. He's gonna go for a choke Terran build order here. It's a double barracks. It's actually not a factory build order. I thought maybe this guy's gonna go for a factory first, because that is what they usually do when they go for a choke build order. But it looks like just one of those more standard triple or double barrack build orders. Double barracks. He might go for a gas right here, right now, and still go for a slightly faster factory build order than he would be going for on a triple barracks. He scouts the middle, scouts the chokes, might try to go for a bunker rush, but because he hasn't found How yet, I don't think a bunker rush is going to happen. Chances are very, very small, but he's going to try anyway, scouting those sides. Flight number 2 there coming up in that choke point. And we have a normal build order coming out from How, going for Nexus, Forge, Highland in the front and a gateway in the back. They're going to get 2 cannons in the front, maybe just one. Maybe just one. Yeah, it's going to be just one. Some players, they like to cut corners. Like, it's not actually cutting corners, it is just trying to do the most with the least. And that's why he's building only a single cannon. He's trying to do the most with the least. Sometimes, doing the most with the least backfires, almost immediately. Some other times, it works out perfectly fine, and I think this is going to be one of those times where it works out perfectly fine. The probe there makes its escape through the clutches of 2 Marines to try and get into that base. One more Marine lying in wait. The probe there might die, it might not, as it turns away. So no information there coming in for How. He doesn't know that Mepo is doing a triple command center build order after building a wall in the front. So only 1 cannon in the front, he cannot break through. There's only 3 Marines, 4 Marines. They don't stand a chance. Cannon number 2 they're coming up, and maybe even cannon number 3. How does not know that Mepo went for triple command center. If he knew, he would go for just 2 cannons. But because he doesn't know, he has to defend himself against multiple options. That's why he gets triple cannon instead of just 2. Which goes to show that information is pretty important in StarCraft. Because imagine if this cannon had been something else. He could have maybe gotten like his robo faster, or maybe gotten the second gas faster, maybe gotten the second gateway. You can do a lot of different kinds of things with money you save. Very good control there. Splits up the Marine on low HP to keep it there in the front. It's going to pull it back home anyway. Actually, no, it goes bye-bye. So we have 1 more barracks. Engineering Bay Academy. Double gas, triple command center, and a factory coming up. And another barracks. Wait, he lifted 1 up from the front and sent it to the back. So this is barracks number 3, not number 4. A double robot there coming in for How. We have Highlands on the side, building a skeleton for later on, but also getting vision of his entire base at the same time, just to make sure a barracks is not flown over these hills. Because if a barracks was flown over those hills, he would have to build a cannon. So confirming there's no barracks on the sides allows him to not build a cannon in the back just yet. Gonna get a citadel of a shield battery? I think this is a mistake. This is a mistake. He intended to build probably a support bay, because the hotkeys for a support bay are VB. And this is a BB. Like, you go select the probe, you do... Okay, he canceled it just on time. They realized it was a support... I see, it's a support bay. They share the same hotkey, but the path to the hotkey is different. Well, that's a mistake. It's going to slow down his reavers, and hopefully for Hao, it won't actually slow down his reavers so much that these Marines can break through that choke point before the reavers are around. But messing up that command might slow everything down by like 5 to 10 to 14 seconds. And as we've sometimes seen in the past, those couple of seconds, those 10 to 15 seconds, they can cost you a game. If you're too late, you might just, lose the shuttle and do no damage. If you're faster than a Terran expected, you might catch them off guard and win a game just that easily. So one attack is on the way, getting range now after the stim, so only on a single factory, no starport, getting barracks number 4. Got 2 turrets on the sides. It's still a little bare bones for Mepo. It's still a little bit bare bones. But he could afford a slightly bare bones defense, knowing that Hao went for double robo. And that always means that the attack won't come or arrive before 6:30. And we're almost at 6:30. Everything was timed very well. Double tank in the front already finished up. Unloads but takes 2 shots from 2 tanks to pick them up and send them elsewhere, find a way into the base. Checks the choke there with the shuttle. Stays just out of bunker range. Looking for a hole into the base. Doesn't want to take it. Doesn't want to take it. There's a big hole right here that he could have gone in from. The Marines are largely on the bottom corner and right here in the middle. This would have been a pretty good path, but he doesn't know that there's an opening right there and didn't bother to check. He only checked this top right side. Dark Templar there, gonna move in and clear out units on the low ground, because they might just spot out the shuttles coming in very, very soon. It's a 4 robo build order now. It's got 5 gateways, 3 are warping in, getting level 1 attack, and zealot speed as well, and getting hallucination. He's getting hallucination. He's getting a very early hallucination. Usually we see Templar energy after the storm, but he went for hallucination. Does he even have storm yet? Interesting choice there from Hao, and he finds a way into Mepo's base. Mepo running the safety. Templar's Reavers on the scene. SCVs too far away, can't hit them. Marines are dying though. One Scarab flies towards the SCVs, but explodes too soon. And that drop, even though he got in all the way, unharmed, winds up not killing any SCVs. Some Marines, some kills, at least something. At least killing some Marines is better than nothing, but he really wanted to hit those SCVs, and the very quick triple command center from Mepo is allowing him to really grow in size rapidly. 6 barracks, double engineering base. Gonna get level 3 armor and a weapon, I assume. Got 2 factories now, 1 starport, 1 science facility. Got a small little choker in the front, but it's just big enough to defend against what Hao is doing. Mepo has been scanning every now and then to check up on what Hao is doing. Got a double Stargazer on the side. He's on 80 probes already. Triple Nexus. Triple Nexus really gets you a big economy really, really quick. He's on 7 gas, getting number 8 right now. Getting a couple more gateways as well. Getting armor for air. Getting Scarab damage for ground. Getting Kandarian Amulet for Templar energy. He has 3 forges. He's just getting every single upgrade at the same time. Getting a 2nd Cyber Core as well. And this is a Fleet Beacon. Hao is progressing really rapidly with his technology. His spending is really, really good. All he needs now is more gateways and another frontal attack and a side attack, probably. He has to do some damage. Because Mepo now on 70 SCVs has reached a point where his economy is satiated. He doesn't need a whole lot more money coming into the bank. which means he can use all of his APM and all of his SCVs he has around his base to focus on getting more supply and more factories and more barracks, which is what he's doing. He's going for a 8 barracks build order. That's a lot of Marines. It has become more popular to go for a very heavy Marine build in 2023. I think Burger Sasu started with it, and now other Terran players are doing it as well. They're getting a lot of barracks because Marines are super cheap to upgrade and super cheap to make. It's a double drop, one from the top, one from the bottom. Snipes the high temple, snipes the shuttles, the high temple doesn't load, and the other drop gets sniped as well. So neither of the two drops make their way in. Mepo, with some very precise, good multitasking, and great awareness, snipes both of the shuttles. Like 4 shuttles sniped from both directions, without effort being put into it. Very well defended, which now means that the clock is ticking for Hao. What is Hao gonna do? How is Hao going to break his way into this base? Auto drop on the bottom right, but there's an engineering bay in the sky. Mepo sees it, gonna try to snipe it, takes out 1, takes down 2, Marines get sniped, they dodge the storm, but pretty much all of them do go down to the storms, about 12 Marine kills, but what matters most is that he kills the shuttle and keeps the SCVs alive, they're on the minerals, and that he keeps growing bigger and bigger, which he is, and with 8 barracks, upgrading those Marines, and building and replacing those Marines is gonna be a very quick and easy task. Quick and easy. Only on 4 gas, but you don't need a lot of gas for Marines. Though we do have 6 factories on the way at the same time. 6 factories on the way all at the same time. Double attack hap. He tried to break through his own choke, but at the same time Zealous arrived on the scene. Unloading on top of... great Reaver unload. Gets 1 good Scarab off, but I thought that was a good unload, but it turns out it's not. Now that the wall is gone, Mepo is going for the attack. Drop comes out over the left side, right side. Excuse me. Arrives on location, unloads as if he's not running the safety. Kills all of them. Down from 88 to 29. That drop was perfectly timed, and Mepo slips up, doesn't notice. And oh boy, when you don't notice your senpai flying in, you're gonna get punished for it, and boy did he get punished. He does have 4 command center, he has an army maxed out. High Templars on the high ground though. Ooh, those storms are hitting him hard. Another High Templar on the high ground. Marines running to safety. Marines do die very quickly to storms. So Hao here with some very solid gameplay. Pretty much decimates the attack. Reduce the amount of Marines pretty much by half. With those 4 storms in the night skies, they're on the high ground. But Mepo does not give up on the push. His supply is low, but he does not give up on the push. He's setting up a perimeter on the middle to take control over the middle and make moving out harder and harder for Hao. But Hao has some plans on putting a stop to that. So, 1 Marine. Oh, only 1. Oh, the storms are actually really good. That first storm was pretty bad, but the storms afterwards, they did a great job cleaning out that Terran army on the middle. Back to 140 supply, 50 SCVs. He's recovering his SCVs rapidly. The 4 commensurate production, it's fast, it's quick. But income is still kind of low. Builds a new wall in the front. Unloads something behind that wall. It's a Reaver, but gets taken down immediately. The Reaver number 2 unloads as well, but gets nothing done. Probably should have waited for the Zealous to arrive before sending in the Reavers, but the execution not that clean, but he is getting results as the shuttle drop there finds its way into the backside. Marines are trying to snipe, but there's hallucinations in between, and the real shuttle stays alive. Templars unloading. Templars getting sniped. 1 more Templar on the scene, gets the storm off, but dodges the storm by an inch. Super close storm dodge. Super close. Almost lost all the SCVs. I think they're all on low HP now, actually. Yeah, look at that. Look at the HP. They are so close to dying. Medic arrives on the scene, gonna try to heal them up before another drop arrives. Mepo now on 168 supply, has recovered his SCV count. But Hao is not planning on letting him rebuild completely. Another attack already moving out. More gateways on the ways. Upgrades are really good. The triple forts that you got really early into the game. 1-1-2 attack in the front, but it's only a small little opening. And they're having trouble getting through. Reavers unload, they're on the side, gonna try to clear this all out. Templar, they're on the scene, gonna storm on the tanks. He has 2 storms in that High Templar, kills the tanks in the front very very well done, but the Reavers don't actually do as much as I would have wanted them to. Still alive there though, still alive. Still alive. As long as there's Dragoon to shoot on, this Reaver is going to stay alive for a little while longer. And yet again, another small wave of units coming in. He's planning on just keeping up the pressure, sending in small waves of units while mixing in sneaky shuttle drops that are there to kill Marines. Ooh, that Scarab really hit him really hard. That Scarab got him good. But I'm not sure if this is going to be enough. I really think Howe should have mixed in a drop going for the SCVs in the backside, instead of using his shuttles to unload in the front and not actually achieving all that much. Also, the amount of vision on the map is insane. Mepo has vision everywhere. Shuttle drops are going to be noticed wherever they come from. Hallucinations though, they're helping out. He's using those high tempos on the high ground for hallucinations. Really smart stuff. Arrives on the scene, snipes the exact correct shuttle because it's split up too early, and Mepo immediately knows, wait a second, he was using hallucinated shuttles earlier, so that one shuttle has to be hallucinated and the other has to be the real one. Quick thinking, very quick, precise clicking. Mepo now again moves out into the middle. His Marines are strong. Their 2 upgrades. Tanks are on 0-1. Not as strong, but the Marine support is strong in this fight. Stimming forward. No medics in between though. Great defensive matrix there on the tank in the front. Keeps it alive for long enough to make a big difference. Goes down in the end, but he wins the fight on the middle. High tempo there, ready to storm. Storms on the Marines, but gets taken down himself as well. Another storm comes down as well, but on the middle. Cleans out that Terran army on the middle, but more units are coming from the base. More units are coming from the base and entering this battle on the middle. This game is high pace. Very high pace. But the moves from Howe have to hit those SCVs again, because at the moment, 91 SCVs. Mepo has a strong production. He's still behind on his upgrades. So the advantage for Howe is entirely in upgrades at the moment. Look at the upgrades. 222, level 333 on the way, getting interceptor capacity back at home, and an Arbiter Tribunal as well. So we will see both Arbiters and Carriers at some point. But first, he has to hit the economy again. He has to hit those SCVs again. Tries to sneak through with this shuttle drop. There's a Reaver inside. Oh, unloads on top of the tanks. And the Reaver doesn't shoot. Splash from other tanks, hitting his own tanks. Couple mines in the middle there. Ooh, this is a great move. Uses hallucination to fly in there. Snipes. No, doesn't snipe the shuttle. Snipes the high Templars though. Ooh, close call. He's not dodging. Mepo is so confident in his ability to be faster than Howe with sniping the high Templar. He's not dodging the storms, and it works out in his favor, but it's a risky business. It's a risky business to not dodge the storms and to just rely on speed. We can see Mepo is very fast. Reaver's on the side, ready to shoot. Great Reaver control from Howe here. I'm really liking how he plays. But this army from Mepo is just going to grow stronger and stronger as his upgrades are catching up. 1-1, almost 1-2. Marines are on 2-3. Very strong Marines. Tries to unload themselves on top of those Reavers and Marines and tanks, but can't quite unload. There's just too much there. Shuttle goes down. But the army, they're moving out from Howe. Mepo is grouping up on the middle, pulling his Marines back to the tanks. Marines there to protect the tanks. Tanks there to shoot on whatever comes close. And it's working. The Marines with Stim are working. This is too far away. Too far away. Actually, it's within range. Wow. Reaver. Oh, that mine. Unloads on top of the mine, but this site there gets cleaned out. The Reavers are doing a lot of work. Howe is playing a lot like a normal map player. A lot like a normal map player. But the effectiveness of his Reaver shuttle unload so far have been kind of bad. Like, he's keeping Mepo away from his main base, for now. But the effectiveness has not been as high as it should have been or could have been. He's being, or rather, greedy with his unloads. You have a courser on the side. He's forcing buildings to land on the low ground, but there's still mines on the map. As I said before, shuttles are not going to get through unseen. Loading on top of the tanks. Very good play there. Very good play there from Hao. Shuttle stays alive. Templar's there in the front, getting EMP'd. Can't storm. Hao really needs to just ball up a huge army. I think if he has a huge army with 3/3 upgrades, he can maybe just simply overpower Mepo with brute force. Because Mepo has a lot of SCVs, like 30 too many, which of course means he could have 15 more tanks if he kills 30 SCVs, and his economy would be perfectly fine if he did so. Hao currently does have more army potential, but Mepo's production is ridiculous. This guy can macro and micro at the same time. Those unloads right there, those were really good. Those were really good unloads. They killed a lot of tanks, reduced the amount of units, but weren't fast enough with killing them, and the army that was right here just a moment ago is now gone. It's gone. We got a proxy gateway base there being built on 12 o'clock. Gonna get 16 gateways there on the top. Carrier's not there yet. He's just only has 2 stargates, and I think this is a game where right now he probably needs carriers. He's got arbiters though. He's got arbiters and storms, which are great, but the mines in the middle are being a pain in his butt. Drop on the bottom corner, gets spotted by mines. It's 2 Corsairs, 2 shuttles, gonna try to fly in, but we have Marines in between, ready to hit those shuttles with their level 3 attack. The shuttles are currently on 3 armor, 3 shield, so they are pretty tough to take down, but these Marines should do the trick. Fight in the middle happening. It's mines triggering on Zealots, shuttle drop on the bottom corner, trying to snipe the shuttles, but they make their way through to stay alive, so now the SVs have to run to safety. Templars too far away. Templars are too far away. Picks them up. Gonna fly closer. Gonna unload yet again. Can he do it? Unloads right on the scene. Templar trying to storm. Hits the SCVs, but SCVs stay alive. They can run through a storm and not die. So good storm, but not good enough. He survives the drop, keeps his economy alive, even though I think if he did lose SCVs, he would still be fine with 10,000 minerals in the bank. Now he's setting up more mines here in the middle. There's no observer here on the scene for Hao, which means his Zealots are going to die to the mines, and his Dragoons might die as well. The Vulture control from Mepo here is really good. Tries to make in some Dark Templars, but he has Science Vessels on the scene, bunker there in the middle to help his Marines stay alive. Mepo is really impressive. Mepo is really impressive. His playing speed and precision, his decision making. I like this guy so much. He definitely is one of my new favorite players at the moment. He's so precise, so good, so smart. Ooh, that Arbiter might have just done the best stasis possible. Tries to fly in with loading on the scene, getting in between, but the Marines with level 3 attack just melt those Zealots with their stim. They melt the Zealots with their stim. So even though that stasis is amazing, it doesn't actually help them out that much. It's an amazing stasis, but it doesn't do that much. Also has a turret for detection, getting another turret there right with his SCV. Goons are pushing forward though. Need more coming from this 12 o'clock base. He's producing as hard as he can, but it simply is not quick enough. He cannot keep up with Mepo's production speed. Mepo's production speed is actually insane. Drop on the right. Comes through. Marines see it. Ready to snipe it. Shuttle turns around, trying to do some trickery, trying to dodge. If he can get in there, well, he finds a way, and Marines run too far away. Templar storms, Templar hits, but the SCVs, they do go down, but 61 stay alive. And that might have actually helped Mepo out more than it hurt him. He will be completely fine on just 60 SCVs. He will be completely fine on just 60 SCVs with 12,000 minerals in the bank. It's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be a problem. That D-Matrix there is going to buy him so much time for reinforcements to arrive. Oh, I really like this so much. This game has been really good. I really like this one. This game has been really, really good. But the one thing that Hao needs is carriers. The one thing he has not built are carriers. Now, in his defense though, Hao does not have the time to switch to carriers anymore. He had to go for carriers like 10 minutes ago, but he doesn't have the time for it anymore. He has to stay with those gateway units and try to land some big storms on the SCVs to turn his game around, or land some big storms on his army here in this pathway. He's got a surround though. He has a surround, but there's more production coming in from Mepo. He's unloading on top of the tanks, but the Marines in between are just so damn good. The Marines protect those tanks with their lives, and they do it so well with a stim. It's so hard to do the usual zealot bombing on the tanks. It's so hard to do. Great storms in the front, but not enough to clean that out. The Matrix keeps the tank alive. Mepo's defensive matrices so far have been amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now he's knocking on that front door, and Hao does not like it. He does not like it. Definitely does not like it. More bunkers coming out. Mepo plays with such amazing control. And this, like, the amount of attention to detail that Mepo's play, I've not seen this from anyone outside of the top streamers in a long time. This guy is legitimately, he legitimately belongs at the top of your 1 versus 1 fastest map, best of all time list. He's really good. I've said it so many times, but he's destroying Hao, and how he's doing it, it's beautiful to watch. Templars are right, responds to it, snipes. Oh, there's a High Templar, there's a Reaver, 2 Reavers shooting their load. Templar storms, kills the SCVs, kills a lot of them. Reavers do go down, but the Templar's done his job, and so have the Reavers, and Hao, it's too late. The tanks are in his base, broken through the choke point, vultures on the scene. He can no longer defend himself. There's too much here, and Mepo is too rich. Even with losing the SCVs, he can replace all those SCVs he just lost with more tanks, more vultures. Mepo absolutely dominated this game. This was a beautiful performance from Mepo, and Hao played really well himself, but it's more that Mepo just performed so well that... How do you beat this? Carriers? Maybe. But I believe Mepo would have done just fine against carriers. This was just an absolutely superb performance. Anyway, that was game number 1. We've got more games coming up in the next video, so please do return when I upload the next one soon. So stay tuned. As I, RGB, am signing out for today, and returning soon. Don't know when, but it will be soon.